I'm Rob. I'm one of the designers on the Digital Apprenticeship service, and I'm going to take you through the process of adding new apprentices into the service so that your providers can be paid. This process will usually happen, I guess, when you've been through the recruitment process and you have the details and the names and so on of the apprentices that you're hiring. You can use this process to add 1 or 2 or 3 apprentices at any one time, or you can do a big bulk upload and add your whole cohort for the year. It's up to you how you want to use it. So I'm going to show you the process. I'm logged in here. I've registered before, and this is the home page that I'm seeing. Now on the home page it may be slightly different when you see it when it's live, but where we're going to go is we're going to go to Apprentices. So we can either go to Apprentices in the navigation or here on the dashboard. So I'll click Apprentices to get started. There's a few options on this page, but for now we're just concerned with this one, which is adding a new apprentice, add an apprentice. So I'm going to click that. And I come to here, which is my start page. This tells me what I need to do in order to go through this process. So it tells me around the organisations, which I'll talk to you about a little bit in a minute. I need the names of my apprentices and a few of the details about them. And I also need to know my training provider's UK provider reference number, which again I'll talk to you about in a second. So we'll start, and the first thing we see is choose organisation. And you can see I have RJ Limited here as one of my organisations. The key thing to remember about this page is that these organisations, if you've got multiple, depending on how your connected companies are set up, you could have multiple organisations here. The key thing is that whatever the contract you have with your provider, what the name of the company is on there, you need to choose the name of the company on here. So my contract with my provider is in the name of RJ Limited. So I'm going to choose, luckily, I'm going to choose RJ Limited here as it's my only option. So that's the key thing to remember about these. And as I say, you might see multiple ones on this page. So choose RJ Limited and I'll continue. The next thing I'm asked for is my UK provider reference number, which sounds a little bit cryptic, but it's a number that all providers have. Your provider will know this, your provider will be able to give you this, and the reason we're asking for a UK provider reference number is it's unique to each provider. So if your provider gives you this number and you put it in, we can make sure that we connect you up with exactly the right provider. There's less scope for error, there's less scope for any issues happening there, and we believe that that's really important, and that's what employers have told us, that it's really important that we connect those up. So if you don't have that number, you'll be able to get that from your provider. You can give them a call, or it probably might be on their website as well, but give them a call and they'll be able to tell you that number. So I'm going to put that number in. My number is 10033 670. This is the UK provider reference number for the provider I'm using, and I continue, and it tells me this reference number is with provider X, and that is my provider that I'm going to be using for this demo. So yes, I'm going to use provider X. That's great. Let's keep going. Continue. This is an important page, and this feature is really important thing that you've told us you wanted. So you've told us you want to be able to have the option to add the apprentices yourselves, so go through and add all the apprentices, bulk upload them, however you want to do them, but you also want the opportunity to send them over to your provider and get your provider to do that for you. Even if you send them to your provider and get the provider to do that process, to do all the uploading and adding in, you'll always have a key point, you'll always have the ability to check it before it gets approved and before it gets entered into the system. You'll always have that ability. You always have to have a look, have to be able to check that. So the provider can't add apprentices without your say-so and without you seeing what's been added. You always have to check that. So for the purposes of this first piece, I'm going to click I would like my provider to add apprentices. I'm going to click that and I'll show you this process. So I'll click continue. Now I'm on this page, which is asking me to add some instructions for my provider. So bear in mind your providers are going to be getting, hopefully going to be getting quite a few of these come in from employers. When it comes in from you, when this request comes in from you to your provider, it will say who it's come from. But if you can add some additional details into here to help your provider tally up what you're talking about and what this is related to, it'll help the whole process go a little bit more smoothly. So for instance, you could say this is related to a conversation we've had. You could put the apprentices on here that you want to add. So say I've got 25 mechatronics engineers I want to add, I can put it in here. Or it could relate to a contract number that you've had. So for here, I'm going to say, hi, this is for the 25 mechatronics engineers. Test of my spelling. We agreed on contract. So I have 90210, showing my age on that contract reference. Thanks, Rob. So I put that note on there so they know what that is. I'll send it over. And I get a receipt. So this tells me what I just did, confirms that that's happened, that's sent to my provider, and my provider can now add the apprentices onto the system for me. And as I said before, even though they're adding the apprentices onto the system, you'll still get a chance to check those and to agree those apprentices before they get approved.